Alright, I know that this is asking a lot, but I really need a favor. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel at the moment, but it's building pretty slowly. I kind of need a lot more likes, a lot more views, a lot more subscriptions. Basically because I'm desperately needing validation in my life. But one of the things that really attracts viewers to YouTube videos is cute animal videos. So I kind of need you to do something cute if you can, okay? I don't mind what it is. I just need you to do something cute. You know, now. While the camera's still on. Just now do something cute. What good are you if you won't even do something cute for me? Ah! I'm all covered in fur after that. If you've been watching my videos, you might have noticed that I've been trying a few new things lately. Last week I posted a bit of a clickbait title with a nice cheesy thumbnail just to see if I could bring my subscriber count up a little. And this week I thought I'd try something else new. I thought I would attempt my first unboxing. Alright, let's give this a go. Oh, there we go. There's a box with Gerby written on the front, or Gobe. And what do we got here? Big surprise. Woohoo! It's an ND filter. How do I open this thing? Ooh, comes with a cleaning cloth. And it is a 37mm ND filter, which is for this camera here. It's actually a variable ND, it goes from ND2 to ND400. And okay, it doesn't have any stops. Alright, that's not really all that interesting, so we'll move on. Why do people watch unboxing videos? It's not something that I really understand. It's basically a guy opening a box, or a girl. I don't want to come across as sexist here. What is the appeal? Why do people watch these things? I just don't get it. If you've got any insight, please leave a comment below and let me know what it's all about. So last week I posted a video talking about the possibility that I may be selling my Sony gear. I've made an interesting discovery this week, which could give me a little pause for thought. To explain what I'm talking about, let's take a quick drive into Perth. If you watched my last episode, you would have seen me demonstrating a technique for getting that nice slow shutter speed without actually having to slow your shutter down. I had kind of mixed results with the technique, but I was able to make something of it. It's definitely possible to get that look, but I did find it pretty hard not to move the camera between the shots, taking 20 shots of the exact same scene, and I also found my focus shifted at time between shots, which made it harder to align them up in Photoshop. These issues are pretty easily resolved. I mean, you can manual focus and you could use a remote. What's not so easily solved though is the amount of CPU and time that it takes to process these shots in Photoshop. I did, however, make an interesting discovery last night. Turns out that there's a way to do this in camera on my Sony A7rii. It's thanks to a paid app you can download via Play Memories, which sadly means it won't work on the new Sony cameras. But I don't have a new Sony camera, so I figured it's worth a try. Waiting for the noise to subside. This is quite a busy road here, so I'm sorry about the noise. Okay, now this app allows you to choose how many shots that you're going to take. It can be anywhere between, I think, 4 and 256, I think it was. That's a lot of shots. I'm not too sure I'd be game to do that. I think 256 shutter acquisitions is just a little too many for one photo. It'll also kill the resale value of your camera. All right, I'll be curious to see how long this one takes. All right, well, that's actually pretty surprising. I can't believe how quick that was. And the results look pretty good, at least on the back of the camera. All right, I may as well try packing all of this up and find something else to shoot. Okay, well, I'm back home now and I've had a pretty good look at these photos, and I have to admit, I'm really impressed. The app is called Smooth Reflections and it's available via Play Memories for $4.99 Australian dollars. There are two things that really surprised me here. The first of these is how quickly it was able to take such a large number of shots and even process them in camera. On most of these photos, I ended up setting the app to take 96 shots. While it's not using burst mode to do this, it's still reasonably quick and it seems to process them almost instantly. I think for 96 shots it was taking around 4 to 5 minutes. When I tried using the similar process in Photoshop, it was taking at least 10 minutes, and my PC is pretty powerful. The other thing that really surprised me was the available output formats. You can choose between the usual JPEG modes, fine, extra fine, etc. But it also offers to output the end file as a RAW plus JPEG. I was a little skeptical about this, as it doesn't offer just RAW as an option. I figured that it was just producing a JPEG from the photos while perhaps keeping onto all the RAW photos just in case you wanted to try editing them again afterwards in Photoshop. This is not at all the case though. It turns out that it is actually producing a single RAW file alongside a single JPEG file. That's pretty damn cool. Alright, so let's take a look at a couple of these photos. Alright, you've already seen this one, so I'll move on to the next one. Okay, this photo turned out pretty well. The water's not completely smooth, but there was a ferry coming towards us at the time, which you can't actually see in the photo because it was moving between shots. And much like using a real slow shutter, objects that are moving fairly quickly don't normally show up in your final photo. You may sometimes get a kind of a ghost image of the moving object, but in this case, I can't see any sign of it at all. Alright, now this photo shows you how similar the effect is to actually using a slow shutter. What you can see here is light trails from the passing cars, and you can also see the reflections of those light trails in the water below. That's really pretty cool. Now, this is probably not a technique that I would choose to use all of the time. There's a limit to how many times you can squeeze that shutter, and I'm not really that keen to shorten the life of my camera. That said, how often do you really want to slow that shutter right down in bright sunlight? I generally prefer to take most of my photos in the blue hour, and the light's low enough that I probably don't need an ND filter. And if I did need just that little extra blur, I could probably get away with still using smooth reflections, but not needing to take as many shots. I'm sure if you're actually using a slow shutter, you wouldn't need to take as many shots to achieve that effect. But there are the odd times when I do want to slow the shutter down in bright daylight, and smooth reflections seems pretty perfect for that. If you do have a wide angle lens though with a filter thread, just take an ND filter. It's a hell of a lot quicker than doing it this way. Alright, well that's about all for this episode. I apologise for the lousy framing earlier. I didn't realise I'd cut off the top of my head until it was a little too late to do anything about it. I'd already done the unboxing, so I couldn't very well repackage it again. Anyway, this is one of the risks of doing things as a kind of one-man band like I have been this morning. So, with that said, I'm planning to put out another video in about 2 weeks' time. So until then, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you again soon on Made to Rumble. Might be a little too much, I think.